Hello, friends. Welcome to Linden-Linthicum United Methodist Church. Great to see you today. I was at a wonderful event yesterday. The Courageous Conversations group from Howard County got together for the first time in person in more than 2 years. We've had Courageous Conversations virtually for the last 2 years and haven't been able to gather. And we decided that we would have a picnic outdoors. And so we got together yesterday, and there were probably 60 or 70 folks who showed up, and they were all kinds of people from all different faith communities, some American-born, some born someplace else, some Christians, some Jews, some Muslims, some Baha'i, some all different kinds of people were there. Probably one of the most interesting conversations I had with anybody was someone who described herself as a non-theist who worships with the Quaker community because they sit in silence, and she feels that there is something holy that happens in that way. It was a wonderful occasion, and there we were together for the first time in such a long time, and there's something almost palpable that happens when you see people and just haven't seen them for a long time. It's a reaction that I think all of us can relate to in these days that we've all dealt with COVID for such a long time. Rabbi Grossman was the one who offered some opening words, and one of the things that she read or talked about was from Psalm 133. How very good and pleasant it is when kindred live together in unity. It is like the precious oil on the head running down on the beard of Aaron, running down over the collar of his robes. It is like the dew of Hermon, which falls on the mountains of Zion, for there the Lord ordained his blessing forevermore. How good and pleasant it is when kindred live together in unity, and that's what was being celebrated yesterday. And I thought about that, and I thought about how wonderful it was to be together. I saw there were only a handful of people that I really knew, and some of them I hold precious. The people on the planning team, the core team for Courageous Conversation that I work with. But there were an awful lot of other people I didn't know, and I got to meet them and to be in conversation with them, and it was just like a charged atmosphere. It was terrific. And I started thinking about how wonderful it is to be together when we don't always have and haven't always had that opportunity. And I thought of this verse from the book of Hebrews, and it says this: "Let us consider how to provoke one another to love and good deeds, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another." Now, I'm not sure that we human beings have neglected to meet together in the last couple of years. I think we have been forced to be apart. We have been caring for one another and all of our health and keeping our distance. But as the time has gone by and as there are more opportunities to be together, one of the things that I fear is that some of us have gotten awfully comfortable. Just kind of being by ourselves and being far away. And I know that sometimes there are really good reasons to keep a good distance from folks. But what I remember last night is that there were some people there, and it was precious, and there was an energy, and it was God-infused, really, that whole experience. Some wonderful things happen when people get together. So for those of you who can, with whatever your health situation is, I'd encourage you to be a part of the worship life of the church again, if you haven't done that yet. I know pajama church is pretty enticing. You know, you don't need to get dressed, you don't need to look nice, you don't need to do anything special. You can just kind of roll out of bed at whatever time. But there's something that happens when people get together. How good it is, says the psalm, when people are together in unity. And says Hebrew, don't neglect to be together. Something holy happens when we gather in community. So if you can, I encourage you to do that because God will be present. Amen.